Hi, this is needlepointers.com, and today I would like to show you how to make these looped ribbon barrettes. What you will need for this project, 3/8 inch ribbon cut to 50-inch lengths, and I'm using 3 colors in the one I'm going to demonstrate to you. This is jewelry wire. I got it in the jewelry section of the craft store. And you'll need a 3-inch barrette. This little one here I made matching this one, the larger one, and I made this for an American Girl doll or 18-inch doll. And for this one I used a 2-inch barrette in the back, and you can use either 1/4 or 3/8 inch ribbon. I used the 3/8 because I wanted to match my my daughter's barrette. So for this one, you would cut the length of the ribbon to be 25 inches. And when you cut the ribbon for the bigger barrette, you're going to cut 50-inch lengths. And the assembly directions is the same for either barrette. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have the barrette, and I'm going to take out this bar on the back. These barrettes, I think you find them, I found them before also in like the jewelry section of the craft store. So now I have just the flat barrette. And I want to layer my 3 ribbons. It doesn't really matter which way you layer them on top of each other. So then I'm going to take the ribbon and I'm just going to lay it on the barrette. Now see, I have the barrette with the opening away from where I'm laying the ribbon down. And I did build one the opposite direction, and it was kind of a pain because this kept banging in and getting in the way. So it's best if you hold it this way. So now you take the jewelry wire, and I usually try to start underneath and you wrap it around. In the beginning I usually wrap it around 3 times to make sure I get it nice and tight, and it ends up my end is sticking out, so I'm going to wrap that around. So now you just make the loops, and you want to make about 1 inch to 1 1/4 inch loops. So I have my little board here, and I can see that's about 1 inch. And then when you get the loop, you just wrap the jewelry wire around once. You only have to do it once for each loop. So now I'm going to make another loop. And I want these to be flat and together. And I looped it around once again. If it becomes a little bit more than 1 inch, it's okay. You just don't want it to be huge. And if you think it's getting too big, you can measure and make sure. I'll be back in a couple minutes once I finish this. Okay, so I've looped all my loops, and as I went along I did push I had to push it over a little bit to fit all the loops in. Now on the last one, I have only done one wrap of the wire around. I'm going to wrap it 2 more times to make sure it stays secure. And as I was wrapping, I was trying to pull it pretty tight, but not tight enough that I would break the wire. So I cut the wire with my utility scissors. If you have special sewing scissors, don't use those for cutting this wire. And I'm going to wrap the little end around. And then now I'm going to use my sewing scissors to cut the ribbons on an angle. So again, that's to keep them from fraying. And you can also heat seal the ends of the ribbons in order to keep them from fraying. So now I want to just go along, and on each loops I'm going to pull them apart and kind of fluff them up. Now on some of these samples I have here, this one I only use 2 colors. You can use 2 colors only, and I just use 2 lengths of ribbon cut at 50 inches. For this one, like I said before, I used 3 different color ribbons, and I cut them each at 50 inches. You can also, I don't have a sample, but you can just make it all one solid color. So in that case, you can use either 2 or 3 ribbons cut at 50 inches long in order to get the, depending on how full you want it. This one's a little bit less full. If you can see, this one is a little more full. This one has 3 ribbons, so 3 ribbons will be fuller. So it depends on what kind of look you want. So I'm going to continue to fluff this, and I'll be back in a couple minutes. Okay, so here's the fluffed up barrette with all the little ribbons separated, and you can move them around to make it look the way you want and have the distribution the way you want it to be. So the last step here is to replace this little bar on the barrette. I find that it's easiest to put it back in by starting with the clippy side first, the side that actually catches, because that side seems to be closer to there's less space. So you just slide that in there, and then you slide the other side in, and you got it. And then we close it up, and there's your finished barrette. So thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed this video, please click the like button and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Use the comments section or leave us a comment on this video or suggest a video you would like to see. Find us on Facebook at Needlepointers and share pictures of your projects. We would love to see them. Also, visit us at needlepointers.com for lots of other kids projects, instructions, and supplies.